we've got now something like 10 million children. It's really hard to get your head around these numbers, but 10 million is half the population, half the child population of Afghanistan need not just humanitarian help, but really critical things like support to stop malnutrition, the type of thing that kills a child, clean water. Safety is still a big problem. Obviously, getting kids back into school. So it's a tough time. It's been a tough time month after month for these children. That's why an organisation like UNICEF, despite all the chaos you see on your TV screens, is staying there to make sure we can do our absolute best for all those kids, a kind of growing number, in need.
Well, as you say, we're looking at multiple threats here. Conflict, COVID-19, drought, 1 in 3 Afghans going hungry. It's a child protection crisis.
Yeah, look, it is. And when you put a child in that kind of centre, when, often children, they can absorb a shock or two, they're pretty resilient. We've seen that. But you get certain things that they require, obviously clean water, or maybe it's the safety of a classroom, the normalcy of a home. All these things, as you say, have been turned upside down. COVID has shut classrooms. There's a drought going on. You've got a malnutrition crisis. And on top of all of this, there's a conflict. So kids' safety has been put in peril. They're watching their parents go through, kind of unprecedented stress levels. So when all these things happen, their coping mechanisms break down. It's physical anxiety, it's mental anxiety, and they need help. They need some sort of support. That's what UNICEF is there to do. That's what all those people who support UNICEF indirectly do. And that moment really is now, because as you've seen in terms of the chaos going on in Kabul and across the country, remembering we're not really seeing a lot of images outside of Kabul. UNICEF is, of course, away from those front lines, getting into villages and so on, where mums and children need us most.
You say you're away from the front line, but you're seeing up close the impact this is all having. How worried are you about the effect the conflict's having on the flow of international aid, financial support?
Yeah, there's no doubt that's a major concern. I mean, one part of the flow of international aid, of course, Juliet, is simply to get aid on the ground. Now, fortunately, an organisation like UNICEF is pre-positioned. We brought in a lot of supplies. We've got those. But there's other agencies, World Health Organization, they need essential medicines to come in. We will need new nutrition supplies to come in very soon. They come over by air. As long as Kabul airport is shut, that's not happening. That's a huge concern. It's one thing to deliver aid to children. It's another thing to try and do that when you don't have a